Well, this is a video that I've been wanting to make for a little while. However, it's not a decision that I've made lightly or taken lightly. The decision is that I've decided to stop posting on my Snapchat account, MagnaCars, which has 270,000 followers. And usually I make around $1,000 to $3,000 a month off of the account from posting on my Snapchat Spotlight and my stories. Now, you might be wondering, why have I decided to stop doing this? Why did I give it up? Well, that's what this video is about. Let me explain. Ever since I was 9, I've wanted to be a car content creator, a YouTuber specifically, since I saw Shmee150 buy his McLaren MP4-12C. All those years ago, I realized this is a career and this is all I want to do in my life. I started on Twitter when I was 9 years old, 2012. MagnaCars. I currently have 1,700 followers, I think, on there. I might have lost a few. I've stopped posting a few years ago, but that was my first taste of social media. I then hopped onto Instagram in 2016 when my parents allowed me to download the app, and I earned a couple 100,000 followers on that platform over 4 years. Then 2020, I made my TikTok account and I grew quite a few followers on TikTok. I currently have like 900,000. And then in 2021, I started posting on Snapchat and Facebook. Also along there, I started posting on YouTube, which is my #1 focus. However, Snapchat is a big income stream, actually. YouTube is my #1 focus. I make around $2,000 to $3,000 a month off of YouTube. Then Snapchat is up #3 income stream. I make around $1,000 to $3,000 off of. And then my other income stream is brand deals, which I usually on average make around $1,500 to $2,500 a month from that. Snapchat is a large part of my income. It's a couple $1,000s a month, which for me, I'm 21, that's a lot of money. Why would I give up that much money? Well, the reason I've decided to give up that much money is because what Snapchat has become, or maybe it always was this and I just didn't notice until the last 12 months. And even the last 12 months, I noticed it and ignored it for quite a long time until a few weeks ago when I just could not ignore it anymore. You might be wondering what this thing is that I'm talking about that I ignored. Well, the way social media works is you have an algorithm, and your algorithm feeds you what you want to see. So on Instagram and TikTok, you can curate your algorithm to show you cars or dogs or religious quotes or cooking or whatever it may be. You can choose what you see on social media. Except Snapchat. On Snapchat, you have 2 ways of making money. Well, 3 technically, actually. So your #1 way of making money, which is how I grew my account in the first place, was posting on Spotlight. So on Spotlight, you can curate your algorithm. It shows you the videos that you want to see based off of what you've previously watched a lot. That's how I grew my account to where it is today. Most of that was from posting a lot on Spotlight. Then you have your public stories. Now that's for public influencers who have a yellow star, and I have earned that after 2 years it took me to get that public star. You can make money based off of how many people view your stories on Snapchat. So that's why you see content creators like David Dobrik and Tanner Brungart giving up YouTube to post on Snapchat because they post 100 stories a day and they make so much money, it's insane. I know one content creator who makes $2,000 a day off of his Snapchat public story. That's besides the point. I like Snapchat as a platform. It is wonderful to communicate with your fan base. They're the most engaged, I'd say, on Snapchat than any other platform. Now, the reason that I've decided to stop posting on Snapchat is because of this explore page. So you've got your Spotlight page and you've got your public explore page, which has your shows, and it will have your creators that you follow with the yellow stars. Those are your public figures, of which I'm one of them. Now, no matter who you follow, no matter where you see these stories, you have to see the sort of public Snapchat explore page, which is what they recommend that they think you want to see. Cars, sports, and women. Women are all over it. And you might be like, okay, what's the big deal? Like, that's probably your own fault for curating that algorithm. No. So here is a live example of me opening the app and seeing what we get. First try, okay, immediately we're greeted with girls in bikinis, like the first 2 snaps. So we keep going down, there's more legs, bras, bikinis, boobs, DJ Khaled, there's one BMW M3. Okay, truck, more girls, guys, more boobs, more, I mean, kids are seeing this stuff and this is constant. Like, let me refresh it and see what we get again. Okay, here we are. This is a refresh. Okay, another girl. Okay, more girls. Okay, guys with shirts, ads, more girls. I mean, I did not curate this. You cannot control what shows up on that page. Yes, you can to some extent, maybe a quarter, but overall you can't. I have clicked block on countless, I don't even know how many girls, probably 70 plus, 100 plus, I have no idea, it could be 200 plus, models, whatever you want to call them. Block, I don't want to see this content. I don't want to be scrolling or not even scrolling. I don't want to have to be going onto that page to see my friends' stories or the public figures that I follow. And the first thing that's up there, you got your friends, you got public figures, and then you've got a woman in a bikini or maybe even worse. I mean, there's some stuff on there which is like insane. Here are a few examples that I wanted to show how serious of a problem this is for young kids that are on this app. I mean, some of these titles are like disgusting. And sure, if you're a 45-year-old person or 30-year-old person, that's your own choice. Even if you're over 18, that's your own choice to look at this stuff. But there are 12-year-olds on this app, and a lot of them, and this is what Snapchat is not just showing or allowing, but promoting. And there were some titles that I genuinely don't want to show you because they are so sickening. So what you're seeing are 80% of the bad ones. However, I didn't want to give this up. I didn't want to give up posting on there because I was making thousands of dollars a month posting on Snapchat. And I was like, well, I'm not part of the problem. All I post is my car and other cars. So yeah, it's not my fault if they want to go on there and they see women. Like, I'm not posting bad things. I'm posting good things. So I'm not part of the problem. Until about 2 weeks ago when the Lord convicted me. I woke up one day and the verse that he put on my mind was this. I'm going to read it to you because this verse has changed my life. This verse has single-handedly, this verse is what has led me to give up a quarter of my income and a lot of my followers because I believe it's wrong. Jesus said to his disciples, there will always be something that causes people to sin, but anyone who causes them to sin is in for trouble. A person who causes even one of my little followers to sin would be better off thrown into the ocean with a heavy stone tied around their neck. So be careful what you do. Now you might be like, well, I don't believe in religion. Okay, you don't need to. The point that we can all agree on, I believe, is that it's so evil to be putting naked women in front of young children on a platform that they can't stop. And you go, well, they should just get off Snapchat. I would agree. But as a 12-year-old, tell me, would you stop eating the sweets? Would you stop being on a social media platform that all your friends are on? No. And I know that that's not my choice and it's not up to me. But what is up to me is whether or not I contribute to that platform. Whether am I gonna feed the machine that's making money off of me posting on there and is paying me a little bit of that money, which to me is a lot of money. Am I gonna keep doing it? What made it even more difficult for me is that a week ago, so this happened 2 weeks ago, I was convicted. 1 week ago, I had a meeting with my sort of agent, kind of like the boss of my agent, if that makes sense. So like one of the higher up people in the agency that helps me get brand deals for social media. And he said, look, man, we got to be pumping out these Snapchats. We got to be, doing it. And I was like, yeah, you're right. Like, because I hadn't been for a little while there. I was like, I don't know if I should be. Like I said, I was convicted. And then he's like, man, we got to be pumping these out. We got creators out here making $2,000 a day. You have the followers. Let's get you back out there. Let's get you posting 20 snaps a day. I want them every 24 hours. I don't want you to not stop for a month. And I was like, okay, I'm going to try and forget that I think it's wrong. And I'm going to try and chase the money and I'll make, 3, 4, 5,000, maybe even 10 grand a month. I mean, there is no real limit as far as I know on Snapchat how much money you can make. So let's do it. And then I posted every day for about 4 days. And I saw this story on the platform. And it pretty much just pushed me over the edge. I was like, this is evil. And it was a fitness influencer, a guy, and using his girlfriend as the thumbnail on these stories to get views. Now, lots of creators do this. In fact, the majority, I would say 80+% of them use girls or girls use themselves to get views. David Dobrik does it, lots of fitness That's besides the point. The point of this story was his title. You title your story on Snapchat and it said, I got my stepsister pregnant, or I got my sister pregnant. And I could not believe it. Like, this is vile. This is disgusting, but like, this is up there for hundreds of thousands. And this guy had a lot of subscribers. And I click on his profile and there's countless stories of like, oops, I got my stepsister pregnant. Oop, getting the pregnancy test. And it's like, it's obviously, I know it's his girlfriend because I'm 21 and I'm not a young child. But young kids, I mean, what is this doing? Like, this is just destroying their minds. This is disgusting and horrible and so ungodly. I couldn't believe that. And I stopped again for a few days. And then I went to a young adults group and I was talking to some of my fellow young men and I was like telling them about kind of what's going on. And as I was doing that, I was convicted again of just bang. It would be better for you to be thrown into the ocean with a heavy stone tied around your neck than for you to cause my little followers, my little ones, to sin. And you might go, well, you leaving isn't going to do anything. And you're right, it's really not. There will always be something that causes people to sin. But anyone who causes them to sin is in for trouble. And I'm not going to contribute. So I'm done with Snapchat. I'm giving up the money. And I hope that you can take something from this video and you can understand that you can gain the whole world, but it doesn't mean anything if you lose your own soul. That's another verse in the Bible. And I'm just making this video because I want to sort of have it out there for me to look back on. Doesn't matter if it gets a lot of views. To me, this is important for myself to remind myself, because I'm going to be tempted over the next 6, 12, 18 months to go back on Snapchat and post again. But I'm putting this video up there sort of to hold myself publicly accountable that I'm not going to contribute to a platform that is causing young children to fall into sin and temptation, which will lead them to pornography and which will lead them to addiction. And I know this because when I was 12 on Twitter, I was exposed to pornography, and that has led me to the last almost decade of my life fighting daily lust, temptation, and pornography. And I do not want to be contributing to a platform that does not give people the choice of what they see, and that has a probably over 50% young audience. So I'm done. And I take it really seriously because, in my opinion, when God says here, it'll be better for me to die a horrible death than for me to cause these young ones to stumble. And even though I'm not posting directly inappropriate bad things, I'm contributing to a platform that is happy, more than happy, and rewards this disgusting behavior. So for that reason, I'm done with Snapchat. So thanks for watching. The next video will be back to cars.